Okay, well, happy birthday again, Marisol. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I tell you, there is so much about your life and my life, and when we were together, that is so absolutely out of this world. I've had people that I've sat with and talked to. I mean, we go for hours in relation to the discussion of this, and they, they've told me I ought to write a book on my experience with the Busquets and go from there. But anyway, uh, there's so much here that I don't know where to go. Where do you start? But you know what? Ian had written me a note back on Facebook, and it's really sad in a way because you can see the anger. You can see it written. You can when you speak this, you can hear it, and it's a shame because Ian was a victim, just like Isaac, Christian, and Katya. You've made them victims. You made them victims. You know, you. I mean, but anyway, there's a lot that he wrote, and I'm going to send it to you. But there's some things here I don't want to talk about in relation to Ian because since this is going out to many people, in relation to what Ian did, and that was really, I mean, extremely serious, and in which you even committed perjury in court in relation to that. But anyway, I mean, where did you not commit perjury in the courtroom? I mean, I mean, you did everything. I mean, unbelievable. But anyway, I'll go into that later. But there was one thing here that he says there that it didn't hit me until just this past few days. I was going back and I was rereading it, and well, it's this. He says that I was a sperm donor and nothing more. Marisol, I'm going to tell you something. It's kind of like in the Old Testament where the Holy Spirit, Yeshua, used an ass to talk to the prophet. This is kind of similar. That statement that Ian made was so right on target. That's exactly what I was. That's exactly what you were looking for. And that's exactly what Michael was. He was a sperm donor. Unbelievable. And I'm going to go into that a whole lot more. But, there's so much anger here in Ian. It's mind-blowing. But, he was a victim. Is during our marriage in relation to Ian, you would always, number one, always remind me that he was not my son. I mean, that started from the very beginning. Always. He's not your son. He's not your son. Well, you're right. He's not my son. Your father would always poison him with when he would come over. This Ian told us. Now, before I continue, I want you to understand this, and this is really strong. I commit in these videos to nothing but 100% truth to the complete total recollection that I have in my memory and from my heart. If there is anything whatsoever that is misunderstood by anyone, in other words, I may say something that to me is truth, but in the way that it is said, it may come across as being interpreted by someone who knows as a lie. Now, I want to make sure that that's understood. If you say that I'm lying someplace, then I give you the opportunity to bring it, put it on the table, and say, hey, you're lying. This is a lie, and then I'll clarify it so we make sure. And then after I clarify, you tell me whether or not it's a lie. Like, for example, there are so many different things that I can say in relation to the courtroom proceedings. Number one, you accused me that I was going to molest my children if I was to beget them. Now, am I lying there, or is that the truth, Marisol? Did you not, in the court papers, right from the get-go, say that I was going to molest and physically abuse my children if they were to come with me? Now, that's truth. That was right from the get-go. And you've also clarified that as to be truth. In other words, that was true, that I was going to do that to my kids if I was to get them. Unbelievable. Now, have you told Katya, Isaac, and Christian that you did that? Did you, for instance, tell them that in the court you told the court that I was going to kill you and kill them? Does Katya, Isaac, and Christian know that abominable lie that you did in order to steal them from me so that they would never have me in their lives and I would be and they would be in my life? Do they know that? Now, I know one of the aspects of possibility here is that they're probably angry because I haven't sent any money. And you know what? They can be angry. They should be angry. And no, I'm not going to send any money while they're under your roof. No, not going to happen. You see, I'm not going to pay for your perversion. For me to pay to send you any money is to say that what you did was okay. That ain't going to happen. You're going to have to put a bullet in my head before that happens. It's that simple, okay? It's just not going to happen, Marisol. Not. But if things go the way they're going here in Colombia, let me tell you something. My children will be blessed up to a point. Up to a point. They're not going to be blessed completely. And I'll tell you why. Because I will not, under any circumstances, bless a Busquets. It's that simple. And I'll go more into that later on, but we go from there. Okay, so where are we here? Ian, okay, a donor. Yeah. Michael Henstill and myself, we were exactly that, sperm donors. Yeah. Okay, now Ian says here, if you were full of truth in the Lord, why is it you had to run away to Colombia to sell liquid manure? Well, very simple. Very simple. And since Ian's going to get a copy of this, I'm going to answer that question. Ian, because your mother destroyed my ability to get a job in the United States. Your mother participated with the lawyers and the judges to accuse me of wanting to kill her, going to kill her, and going to kill your two brothers and sister. And therefore, a fraudulent protective restraining order was taken out against me that appears in all police records nationwide. And now listen to this. I was offered 2 jobs by 2 companies that found me. You might remember, Ian, and your mother will remember, when I used to sell living trust packages, that I loved doing that job. I had 2 different companies. One out of, Ohio, and another one out of Texas, found me in Richmond, Virginia. They found me and wanted me to go to work for them. These were jobs in which I was looking at managerial positions with bonuses and everything. These jobs would have been over $100,000 plus a year. But you know what? I already knew, because when I used to work them, that they took out police criminal reports on every candidate. So I already knew that they were going to find out about the fraudulent, well, to them it wouldn't be fraudulent, but the fraudulent protective restraining order that your mother took out on me, which totally took me out of the lives of your 2 brothers and sister and kept me out of their lives through the abomination that she did. So I couldn't get those jobs. Matter of fact, I couldn't even get a job at McDonald's, Ian, because of that restraining order. And on top of the restraining order, see, what happened was, when your mother took out the restraining order, it then gave the judge and James Allen Wilson and Rick Clark the ability to say that I was going to kill the judge. Unbelievable. And so they took out fraudulent warrants against me that I was going to kill the judge. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. I mean, just totally mind-blowing. And I do hold your mother 100% responsible for that, and she will answer for that before Yeshua. So Ian, I had to leave the United States because I couldn't even get a freaking job at McDonald's. It's that simple. And I had to also trust Yeshua that finally I was going to end up in the United States. I mean, not in the United States, in Colombia, because I've known for years that I needed to go. I know for years. And let me tell you what's happening here. We're going to build an orphanage. And you know what? We're also going to start a church. My only slight concern here is I really don't want to be pastor under any circumstances, but it's not my will. It's his will that will be done. But we go from there. So Ian, that's why I had to flee to South America, to Colombia, in order to have my life back. Now, you know what? I think in the next video, I'm going to talk about what I went through here in these last, since September of 2006, which was the last time that, that's going to be a good place to continue here, and what happened in Tulsa, and what your mother with her lawyers and her judges tried to do to me. And I can back all this up with documentation, okay? And this is stuff that your mother doesn't want your brothers and your sister to know.